What if I told you guys that a Toronto condo building once threatened to sue me? That's exactly right, and I'm laughing as I say this because it's quite absurd. I mean, if you've been watching my channel for a long time here on YouTube or other social media platforms, you know one of my area of expertise, one of my primary value propositions, and one of the reasons clients choose to work with me on the buying side is my depth of knowledge for condos, at the risk of sounding arrogant, but I'm just being quite frank with you, is very thorough. I don't think there are many people out there who know condo buildings as well as I do. As a result, I've made my bread and butter on YouTube and other platforms talking about, in part, bad Toronto condo buildings that people should avoid, or Toronto condo buildings that are overrated, or Toronto condo buildings that I don't like. And you know, even doing my Toronto condo reviews, I sometimes speak of the ills of certain condos. And if you've noticed, there's a certain running joke on this channel, the Toronto condo that shall not be named. Well, there is a reason that it shall not be named. And in today's video, we're gonna go through that. Hello everyone, as always, this is Sam from SaberiSixRealEstate, back with another video for you guys here today. If you're new to the channel, we like to do these types of videos: market review, market stats, market reports, buyer advice, seller advice, condo reviews, area analysis, and so much more. So if you find any of this content enjoyable or informative, feel free to subscribe or like for more. Lastly, you can find my contact information in the description box on the screen. Easier than ever to book an appointment with me. Feel free to use that link, get in touch with me with any buying or selling inquiries. I would be happy to be at your service. For the longest time on this channel, I keep getting the question of which building is the condo that shall not be named, because I've recorded many videos in the past, for instance, Toronto condo buildings to avoid, or downtown Toronto condo buildings to avoid, and in other videos made mention of this Toronto condo that shall not be named. I will actually list the things that are wrong with the condo that shall not be named, but before I tell you what's actually wrong with it and why it's such a bad building, let me give you some context as to why it is the condo that shall not be named. First and foremost, to this day, some lenders will not provide you financing for it. That's how bad it is. Now, let's just don't take my opinion for it. Lenders who have money at stake, some of which, not all, but some of whom will not provide you financing for this building. Because this building has obviously, hypothetically, has had a history of special assessments and hypothetically a history of mismanagement of funds. Now, but that's special assessments happen. Guess what? Condo boards rotate through, property management and people who have access to funds. Even good buildings sometimes may come across these issues. But what sets good buildings apart from bad buildings? Some good buildings might have occasional bouts of mismanagement of funds, but at least those good buildings don't have absolute dog shit units. Now, this building, unfortunately, in this hypothetical world, has all these issues on the condo side, the corporation side, and also is just an awful building with awful layouts. We're talking about 2 bedrooms squeezed into 525 square feet, 2+1 squeezed into barely 550, 560 square feet. And we're also talking about 1 bedrooms squeezed into 450 square feet. Now, not only are the layouts small and tiny, borderline coffin-like, but the quality of the coffin is not even good. It's just poorly built, cheap finishes for the most part. The only thing this building has going for it is the location. And frankly, once again, you can do a lot better with a lot more mediocre, but still substantially better than this. Options that are still affordable in some senses. And the reason it shall not be named has to do with the fact that I made a short form TikTok video, I would probably have to say 1.5 to 2 years ago now. That went viral. It exploded like something I have never seen before. In a matter of 45 minutes, it got 200K views on TikTok. And this was a video where I was naming Toronto condos to avoid, bad Toronto condo buildings to avoid, something that I have done since. With regards to this specific video, I started off with probably one of the worst Toronto condo buildings. And I went through in detail all the reasons I think it's a bad Toronto condo building to avoid. And as it turns out, this Toronto condo building, the condo board of which seems to be very litigious, got a hold of my video. And one day I was just randomly going about my day, very much so enjoying my day, when I got an email directed towards me and my company, the real estate brokerage I work with, threatening in no uncertain terms a lawsuit if I did not take down that video across my social media platforms. Once again, this was on TikTok and Instagram. And this letter, and this very threatening and aggressive letter, was claiming defamation on my part. Now look, listen, I was quite frankly pressured to take down the video by my own brokerage. It's something that I believe to be unjustified, because I was just giving my opinions on factual matters. I was not saying it's an ugly building, the people inside it are ugly, there are a lot of criminals inside the building. Nothing that's subject to opinion. I was just giving factual statements. And yes, I did throw my opinions in there as well, but it was not just, once again, something as frivolous as me saying the lobby's ugly, so don't buy in this building. It was, substantiated with reasoning, even my opinions that were negative with regards to this building. And I pride myself as a realtor who often works with buyers and sellers across the GTA, especially on the buying side, really being transparent and honest with my buyers with regards to which buildings they should buy in and which buildings they should avoid. That is my bread and butter. That is why people work with me, and I don't see anything wrong with it, right? Some buildings are a good fit for some buyers, some buildings are a bad fit for some buyers. And then you have the really awful buildings such as this one that is a bad fit for everyone. Putting that aside though, seeing as to how I did not have the bandwidth to deal with a potential defamation lawsuit, and it was more trouble than it was worth, and my office did not have my back, I thought it better to take down the video. Unfortunately, at the time, I was very quite, dismayed with this, because it was my most popular video on another social media platform to date, but I had to take it down. Hence, the birth of the condo that shall not be named, and the rest is history. It has remained the condo that shall not be named. And if you still think this is all just my opinion, which you're right, most of it is my opinion, but if you think my opinion is unsubstantiated and not supported by the state of affairs on the ground, all I ask you to do is, in any given month, any given week, ideally every given quarter, take a look at downtown Toronto and rank all the sales from the lowest and cheapest buy bedroom number to the highest and most expensive buy bedroom number. So take all the one bedroom sales and rank them by the cheapest. Take all the 1+1s, rank them by the cheapest to most expensive. Take all the 2 bedrooms, rank them by cheapest and most expensive. And what you will see is that out of 10 of the cheapest sales in any given bedroom number, the list of 1s, 1+1s, 2 beds, probably anywhere from 6 to 8 out of 10 of the cheapest sales in downtown will be from this building. Now, once again, more or less, some cases it might be 6 out of 15 or 7 out of 15. Some cases it might be 5 out of 10. The point stands, the larger point stands that the market has spoken with regards to the quality of this building. This building, not on a per square foot prices because the units are so miniature in size, but on an average and median sold prices, this building for 1s, 1+1s and 2s has probably the cheapest values in downtown. Only other building that might compete with it is the other horrible buildings as well, which I could name because they haven't threatened to sue me. 1 King Street, and probably the awful Gupta Group building, 251 Jarvis. Even like the latter, then I think about it, is probably a bit pricier on an average and median sold price basis. And so that is the condo that shall not be named, and many people reach out to me wanting to know which building it is. I think most people who are somewhat in tune with the market, watch real estate content, especially my content, can connect the dots as to which condo it is. But that's the story about the condo that shall not be named. That, funny enough, that's not the only story about me getting sued for my opinions. There are other threatening lawsuits and letters. They had good sense to see that they didn't have much of a case, and I was in hands of better management at the time who had my back and supported me with regards to my opinions. Different type of video, more of a story time video for you guys here today. Let me know if you want more of these videos where I just talk about my everyday experience as opposed to market or reviews or buyer advice, seller advice, numbers, numbers, data, all that jazz. Hopefully it was informative. Hopefully it was informative. Hopefully it helped some people connect the dots. As always, this is Sam from SaberiSixRealEstate. Thank you very much for watching. Stay safe and stay tuned. Thank you.